ladies. How are you?
Cheers.
Great.
Oh,
Cheers.
I went
Ooh.
more. Ooh, that looks like a Sancerre.
It is, I think. You know, it's 6 p.m. here in Paris, so I think it's just legal to have an aperitif.
Perfect.
So,
It's,
cheers.
cheers. I'm having a vat of tea today. I'm breaking the rules and not drinking. So sorry, but
No problem.
how are you? This is Carrie.
Hi,
Hi.
Carrie.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
I love your chandelier in the background.
Thank you. It's very Eugene Onegin third act.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
How are you doing? How are things in Paris?
You know, things are okay. I mean, we're always a little bit scared to say that, but we've just had Edouard Philippe on the telly, kind of talking a little bit about what's going to be happening.
Okay.
And it seems like restaurants and bars are opening from the 2nd of June.
Wow.
That we can travel all over France, that Europe is opening again, that things are really going better than they thought. So this is really amazing news, and pretty happy.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I bet. How long have you been? You've been in quarantine longer than us.
Oh yeah. We've been since mid-March, 17th of March. So yeah, we've been kind of on lockdown for a while, but it kind of feels like we can see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel here.
Nice. Are they opening up restaurants to like full capacity there, or are they still?
I don't think so. I think it's restaurants, kind of terraces,
Okay.
outside dining, at least in Paris and the region.
Okay.
But it might be everything in kind of the areas where it was like, you know, less hit. But it'll be nice to just go out and kind of have some normalcy again, and
Yes.
you know.
We just got extended yesterday. We got extended.
Oh no!
Oh,
You
so,
did?
Yeah, I didn't tell Carrie this. Yeah, we got extended until June 9th officially. But because everybody went out, the weather turned warm, everyone out, you know, and they went out to the parks, and the numbers started to go up again. So,
oh no!
But I mean, it's all relative. Canada numbers are not like the U.S. numbers. Carrie's in Nashville, and
oh, you're in Nashville. I was wondering which part you were in.
Mm-hmm. I'm in downtown, and they've now finally opened up the bars to 75%, and they're allowing live music.
Okay, which is important in Tennessee, of course.
Yes, it is. But there was an email that went out that there's a drive-in concert. They wanted to know the size of your car. There's only so many cars allowed, so they put it as a lottery, and you could email in, you know, how big your car was, because they need to know that too. And then there's a concert tonight through Monday night, and I put us in the lotto for every night. And so I'm just hoping that there's an email, and then we can just go sit in our car and have a date. And
oh, that's so romantic.
Yeah,
it's very 1950s or something.
Yeah.
So what kind of fun things did you get up to during quarantine?
Oh my God, fun things, not so much. I've been, well, as you know, Sandra, I've been working on our project, Opera for Peace, which Sandra is advisor on, and we're so happy to have you on board. And I have to say that this whole crisis has been positive for us, because people and artists have really got behind our mission.
Great.
So people really understand that our values are increasingly important, that we have to help each other, that we're one big community at the end of the day of artists and people who support artists, to be able, you know, to give them the support they need to do what they need to do, and communicate to the public and the larger world. So things have been very positive for us. We've been having, as I said, more people interested in what we're doing, and you know, I'm pretty hopeful for the future. We have one huge collaboration that we'll be announcing pretty soon, with a very big online digital company. So things have actually been very, very busy.
Wow.
I think they
Great.
might have announced that today.
Do you want us to announce it? Like a
Well,
pre?
we're not going to be going. This isn't going to be going out for a while.
Okay.
So, right,
So
Carrie? We're looking at a few weeks.
Yes, but before you just say that, would you please tell me what Opera for Peace is, and how it
with pleasure.
started, and what your mission statement actually is? I would love to just hear that from you.
Yes, definitely. So Opera for Peace is it's a new cultural movement. It's for artists, pretty much by artists, because it's really a project that has been in discussion for a long time. I've been working with artists. I used to work for Opéra de Paris, Paris Opera. So this is how I know Sandra so well. We did many great projects together. And my job was I was deputy casting director, so I was handling all the kind of daily affairs with artists and auditions, and really being there for the artists on the night and helping. So in this capacity, I really had access to artists, and we had a lot of discussions about where the business is going, what we need in the future to let's say better relate to the world in which we live in, because we all love this art form so much, and we want it to go in the right way, in a positive way, where we're maybe finding new avenues for financing, where we're, of course, as we have been doing for many years, trying to get out of the idea that it's an elitist art form, which, as we know, it's not. It's, opera speaks to everyone, as culture does in general, and through all of these discussions and all of these different ways of thinking together, we came up with this project. So it's Opera for Peace, Leading Young Voices of the World, where our values are diversity. We believe that we will strengthen the art form by giving opportunities and better access to education, and accessible ways of educating people from all over the world. We feel this will really enrich our world and also the lives of others, as opera and art and culture has enriched our lives. So diversity, inclusion, which comes into it, equality, man, woman, which is being pushed in, of course, many other fields around the world, and which we want to really promote in opera, not only for artists, but for management as well, to have women on equal pay, equal footing to their male counterparts. Composers, giving all these opportunities. We also, our biggest value out of all of this is artistic excellence, because we know that through artistic excellence, through education, by having access to wonderful teachers and mentors and conductors and stage directors, that people will grow and communicate the art form in the best way possible. So these are all our values, and we work with wonderful artists to make all of this happen. We call them our ambassadors. We have 22 incredible artists who are in the, let's say, the peak of their career at the moment. We have 5 incredible advisors who are artists which Sandra is part of, who have already done an incredible career and is also in the peak and wanting to give as well. So we have 5 wonderful advisors. We have a new project called Emerging Artists, which is 12 artists, young artists from around the world, who we give us special support and attention to. And we have over 60 partners, orchestras, festivals, competitions, of course, opera houses, institutions, global institutions. So we're kind of let's say, to put it kind of in a nutshell, we are now the biggest network for young artists worldwide.
Okay.
So artists come to be supported, to exchange, to learn, to get ideas, to get tips, to come together, to brainstorm. So it's something I think very exciting for the future.
When you say that you partnership with the orchestras or festivals, opera houses, what exactly does that mean for a young artist?
Okay. So on the most basic level, this means that these institutions support our values. These are institutions that have been supporting these values for many years, and we work really in collaboration with them. We have 4 main areas of work. The first area are our educational cultural exchanges.
Okay.
So this means that there is interaction between the different young artist programs. So for example, our first exchange was between Houston Grand Opera and Opera Australia.
Okay.
So we gave the chance to, which is wonderful, we gave the chance to a fantastic young Chinese bass, William Guangbo-Su, who is also one of our emerging artists, to go from Houston to Sydney. And he spent 3 weeks in Australia, in Sydney, and participating in their educational, in masterclasses. He watched rehearsals and performances, and this was so fantastic because the young artist program in Sydney was so happy to welcome him and to show him how things are done in Australia, and he was so happy to have another experience. So this is the first cultural educational exchange, and we have many more in the future. We also give opportunity to our young artists and to other artists to perform. Because as we know, I mean, young artists and any artists want to perform.
Right.
This is why you're doing what you do, and so we're in collaboration with our partners to produce concerts in different formats, recitals. We had our launch in Dallas, Texas last year.
Okay.
So this was in a partnership with the Dallas Opera, and we had a wonderful concert there. We've most recently been to Russia. We were at the Winter Arts Festival in Sochi, which was also a fantastic event. We gave opportunities to young artists from Latin America, from South Africa, from Russia, from Europe. So this was a beautiful occasion, and I think the Russians public really responded to that. We were broadcast on Russian culture, media. So that was really wonderful, and we have many more events planned. We also do ambassador talks. So our artists, our advisors speak to young artists from different young artist programs. And we were discussing with Sondra, maybe we can kind of open this up to all young artists, so we can broadcast these talks, so that artists, you may not be on a young artist program, but you can still get the advice from, the artists about time management, how to deal with difficult colleagues. I don't know if any of us have...
Oh, come on, there's no difficult colleagues.
Oh.
Yes.
Julia, that's like a 5-hour conversation.
I know. So these young artists, they talk about what they feel young artists should know about.
Okay.
That's never taught, let's say, in music schools, and this kind of thing. So we do ambassador talks, we do master classes, residencies, special projects. It's a very wide mission, all-encompassing mission, and we thank all of our partners who make this happen and who support us and who believe in us.
Mentoring, right?
It's super exciting. If I was a young artist and I wasn't in one of the major programs around the world, how could I access this information, or how could I be a part of it, or how could I join?
Okay, so this is where the announcement comes in.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. No, so we have teamed up with Idagio, which is the most amazing streaming service for classical music.
Okay.
And they're not only just a streaming service, but they're now opening up entirely their digital platform to artists from around the world. And we have a big collaboration with them. So they are supporting all of Opera for Peace's activities. We have a bi-weekly slot called Opera for Peace Connections, where we artists do pretty much what we're doing now. We have informal discussions about different parts of the business, and so that's a very big thing. So I think with their help, we will be able to broadcast all our activities around the world. And let me say that these talks are free, so you don't have to be a subscriber to log on.
I love that.
But there is paid content as well on Idagio.
Exactly. And what they're working towards now is a paid content. Well, they have their premium subscription, which is paid. And they're also going to be creating something that I'm not allowed to mention, but it will be a paid platform so that artists will be able to sell tickets and will be able to get paid for their art, because I think we're kind of coming maybe a little bit out of the free concert things that were very necessary, at the beginning of this crisis, and that will continue for various different, I think, non-profit ventures. But I think we also have to revisit the model, and artists also need to get paid, and they need their work valued. So Idagio are very much behind the artist.
It was announced here today that Idagio it's on Opera Wire, and I think also Slip Disc mentioned it, that they're going to have. No, it's okay. It might have just been here today, and it might be announced tomorrow. Late there today. But yeah, it's a platform for artists, all not just opera singers, not just singers, but instrumentalists, all of that, to record recitals, concerts, and they're available, but not just musically. Afterwards, they're going to have the opportunity to discuss what they just did live with the audience, with the public, and also have them choose, for instance, what kind of encores they want you to perform. It's really an interesting concept.
It's very, very cool. And it's, as I said, it's coming from a very good place. It's coming from a team that are also artists, and they understand the need and what artists want, and also what the public wants. So I think this is going in a very, very good way. So very happy about that.
Was this your brainchild? Was this your?
No, I wish it was. No. This it's a company that was established in 2015, and was a startup. It's based in Berlin. It's based in Germany, and they have a wonderful team. They have a huge team now, and things are working very well. They have wonderful partners, the Vienna Phil. I mean, all the big orchestras and all the big conductors, and I think they have, let's say, the biggest library online worldwide for classical music. Okay. So it's a great thing. So cool. Very happy that we can be part of it.
Sure.
So that's great.
What would be right now in this time that we're in? What would be your best advice or biggest advice or most helpful advice for young artists right now?
That's a really good question. I think for me, the most important thing is to stay connected. That's not to say to, be obsessed with social media. That's only one kind of way of connecting, but to really keep up your personal network. I also speak to young artists about, coming from a casting background and artistic administration background.
Mm-hmm.
I also speak to artists about, about the business and how to get started and what the best thing is. And really the first thing I say to them is, have your own personal network of your supporters, your team. And that doesn't have to be a partner. That could be a voice teacher. That could be a friend. That could be a mentor from another field. But to have your team behind you is so important. Sandra, you know that.
Yeah.
I don't know you so well. I don't know who your team is. But I know that Sandra has a very special team that look after. I don't know. Is that the word, Sandra? Do they look after you?
He does everything. My team leader being my husband. Yes. I sing. What I say is I sing, and he does everything else. And Carrie has that same. Carrie and I are very similar.
But in this business, I think Sandra and I both have people in the business, advisors, general directors, people that we've known for years that we trust, bounce off ideas.
And they know our voices.
They know us, they know our voices, our personalities, what we're good at, what we're not good at. And those people are wonderful, because you transition through your career as you get older too. There's a difference from starting to where Sandra and I are now and in the middle. Mm. So those people are wonderful to bounce ideas off of. And I love that idea and what you're promoting and cultivating those relationships, because those have been so extremely helpful to me over the course of my career.
Yeah, I mean, I personally learned the same thing. I mean, I started as an intern at San Francisco Opera 20 years ago now.
I was going to ask you, I never knew your whole story, Julia.
Yeah. So I did musicology at Berkeley in California. Oh. So at the same time, I was on a practical training visa, and I got some wonderful experience at San Francisco in the artistic department. So still doing auditions and still, filing through the biographies of singers. So, this is kind of my thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud to say that I still have those connections 20 years later.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay. People have moved on and things have moved on, but I still have those wonderful, special connections. Elizabeth Barlow, Brad Trexel, all of them are still very dear friends. And that's what I say to singers. You can't do this by yourself. It's too difficult. You need that support. And what I say, especially to the ladies, is, and what I also was taught maybe 10 years ago, and I didn't know at what point this was important. Choose your partner wisely, because having someone who's really in your corner, who respects you, who supports you, this will be the single most important element of whether you're successful, whether you're not successful. I mean, we've all seen it. I mean, everyone makes their own success and their own luck, but especially for ladies, if you have a partner who truly loves you and supports what you do, you will go so much further than someone who's holding you back. And that's I've learned.
Very true.
And you know what else? What you say, these people from 20 years ago from San Francisco, they're still part of your network. And I tell young singers, you treat everyone equally.
Oh, definitely.
Because you never know when this person is going to circle back into the world. And also this opera world is so small. And you get a reputation, and your reputation is truly the only thing that we as singers can control in this business, besides our voice. But that's a separate deal.
Separate thing. This is a separate talk. No, it's true. And I was speaking to the young artists in Russia just a few months ago in Sochi, and I was saying, and I mean from the young singers from 15 to 25, because it's in Russia they have such a passion for culture and for this art form, and they start so young, and had so many wonderful, really young artists there with such talent, and you know, followed by their mothers and their young siblings, and the whole family was going and traveling all across Russia to be there. So such amazing, wonderful people. And you know, I was saying, don't underestimate, as you said, treating everyone in the same way. It's the most important thing, from the person at reception to the person, from the stage manager who takes you across the stage to the piano. I mean, I have to say, and it's been like this throughout my 20-year career. Let's give an example in Paris, as I was just there now. I always said to the stage manager, how were they backstage? How did things go? Because you want to get an idea. Of course, everyone's nervous, so you can't just take that into consideration.
Sure.
But how's the character of people? You know, how did things go? And so you have to be very, well, you guys know this, you have to behave in the best possible way, and everyone should be treated equally, and not just the casting manager, because the casting manager speaks to everyone else, and the casting manager will know exactly how you behave the minute you've walked into that opera. So
oh yeah,
you have been warned.
Exactly.
God.
Well,
so
talk to us, blah, blah. It's early. Talk to us about your view of the future of opera now, post-COVID.
Post-COVID. Okay, so I kind of have to go back to opera piece, because you know, that is really what I'm working on every day, and this is, you know, putting all my passion into this. I feel that we have to still open up the world. I know there is a kind of reaction to want to close up, and I mean, maybe this is not our choice at the moment, but I think there will be a point where, you know, the virus will have died down, there will be a vaccine, and we have the choice. Do we continue to open up the world, which is the way that we've been going in such a beautiful way, or do we shut down and, you know, keep it more local? I think it's very important to keep this an extremely international art form, business, to truly enrich also other cultures and other countries, and once again to give equal opportunities. So I don't know where things are going to go, but I hope it will continue to be this very international art form.
I agree. I honestly agree. Ugh.
Do you agree as well, Kerry? How do you feel about it?
No, I think it should always be opened up to everyone. I hope it doesn't become almost like a nationalistic kind of thing. Even in the States, you know, we're only limited to where we live, and no, it should be everywhere. So
yeah, I mean, I know that Saudi Arabia have very big plans for culture. The lovely soprano that we're involved with is the first soprano, the first Saudi Arabian soprano, Sanson Al-Bahiti. And we, as part of Opera for Peace and our Global Connections program, we're supporting her development. So we're putting her in touch with other singers, teachers, and we're doing a little part of her development. And of course, then she goes back and she encourages other singers in her country, and every little piece counts.
Yeah.
Because that.
How did you choose the artist? Is there a requirement? Is there an age? Did they have to audition for you?
You know, I mean, I'm lucky to have such a wonderful team that I work with, truly international, global. We're in, I think, 10 different time zones, so meetings are a little bit challenging. But at least we have a wonderful global view on the world. So I have two co-founders, Dmitry Dovin from the Bolshoi. He established the Young Artist Program at the Bolshoi. And this is, I considered now, I think, as one of, if not the best young artist program. also with Paolo Petrocelli, who's a wonderful colleague who has a truly global view on the world, and especially on the business. He's involved with UNESCO. He's involved with the Nobel Peace Commission. He's just launched now a think tank in Italy, the Future of Opera. So he thinks in many different ways about how to advance the art form, but with many different fields and kind of contributions from many different sectors. So hopefully that will open things up a little bit. And so so we have this wonderful team. Also, we have some music advisors, Kamal Khan, who is fantastic. I think you know him.
I do.
We both do, yeah.
Probably that's. So he's a vocal coach. So also Jenna Wolf is a wonderful colleague. So between all of us, in terms of casting, we know young artists, and we brainstorm together to see who's the most exciting, who has the most interesting talent for us to develop. So it's a real work. When we talk about young artists, we think maybe under 35. So we kind of try and stick to that. But every artist develops in their own way. So we don't have a set fixed timing.
Do they apply
Yes.
to Opera for Peace? Okay.
Well, we don't have at the moment anything official, but people contact us. And we've only kind of been around for 6 months, actually. So to kind of get things going, we did brainstorm to get ideas together, and we put the list together ourselves. But we're hoping that things will open up in the future.
Wonderful.
So people can apply. Yeah.
Great.
Well, do you have any ideas to get
probably
to get, once it's opened back up, I think we all feel like the model needs to change in some way or another. And I was curious as to what you thought about having young people come into the Opera House. How do we translate their online interest now into ticket buying for the future?
Oh, that is a very good question. Well, I as I said, at least our partners are very kind of aware of, and many other opera companies are very aware of youth. I mean, I know in Opéra de Paris we had these young evenings. If you remember, Sandra, we couldn't get tickets because it was all for under 25s. Yeah. So there are a lot of programs to get young people into theatres. I think by kind of the programs that we're doing will, I hope, naturally encourage people to come and see the art form, because of course, as everyone says, at the moment the digital way is the only way, but nothing beats being in a hall and hearing the human voice live, orchestras, and it's the whole art form is so powerful, so overwhelming, that I think we, in all of our talks, we have to kind of encourage all of this, and I hope that young people will continue to come. And
are you working with opera houses, maybe helping them subsidize tickets for younger people coming in?
At the moment, we're not, but I think that's a very good idea, and it's very important, because it's a cliche, but I mean, youth is the future. And I remember in Paris with these younger evenings, the energy is so incredible. Sandra, do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely. Crazy, screaming, yelling, yeah.
Exactly.
Very fun.
No, it's amazing. I mean, especially those opera companies that have days where the youth can just come in and watch the shows. It's the most amazing energy you've ever felt in your life, at least from my point of view. I mean, they really are engaged and enthralled and listening, sometimes more than some of our regular performances. So we interviewed someone who brought up the fact that they noticed that, what was it, Sandra? How did he word it? That they noticed on the likes or something, or
they run a website for classical music, and they are able to track all of the viewership and to track the data. And the average age of the person coming to this website was 31 years old.
And so how do you translate that into viewership into the opera house? Because that's our future. And I feel like the model of the tickets, of how they can afford them, of how we make this art form affordable for all, not only for ourselves, but for the companies as well. It's how do we make this, how do we change this? So
it needs to change.
It needs to change. I mean, you know, every country has its own challenges. Every state has its own challenges. In the US, everything is so specific. So it has to be a local effort. But with that local effort, I think there has to be a greater global strategy. And I'm hoping that through Opera for Peace and through other partner organizations like Opera Europa, Opera Latino America, Opera America, all these incredible bodies that support and so tireless in all their work. And I know that we're as administrators, we're thinking about this. We discuss it at our conferences. So yes, I mean, there has to be a global strategy, a global message. But it is going that way. I'm happy to say that it is going that way. And I hope that when things reopen, we can see more young people in the theatre.
I hope so too.
Is there anything else you want to say to our viewers to share, or are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Oh God. No, I mean, I think I've said quite a lot. I mean, I mean, follow us, hashtag Opera for Peace.
We'll put all the information up for you.
You'll put all of that out anyway. No, I mean, just to say how happy I am to have so many wonderful artists on board, to have this wonderful conversation with both of you, and, you know, like-minded people, good people. And I just want good people in my life now, and I'm sure you both feel the same. And, you know, life's too short, so, you know, let's all come together and let's all do something very important and meaningful.
I love that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
In your class?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. We're going to go back to the good old James Lipton from the Actor Studio questions. I don't know if you have that television show, but it was one of my...
I don't know it.
Okay.
Oh, good. So then you don't know the questions.
You don't know the questions.
No. Oh, no.
So, what is your favorite word in any language? Because we know you speak quite a few.
Love. Amour. Amour.
Oh.
What is your least favorite word?
Discrimination.
Discrimination. Yeah, absolutely.
What turns you on?
Getting together with, as I said, like-minded people and brainstorming and feeling like we're making a difference.
Love that. I'll happily get on any of those conversations. I love those.
Good.
Carrie's a good brainstormer.
What turns you off? Oh God. People who are so narrow-minded, just narrow-minded people I can't stand.
What sound or noise? Yeah, well, we're the same. What sound or noise do you love?
What sound do I love?
Sound or noise do you love? Yes.
It's a cliche, but I love birds singing. I love opening the window and hearing birds singing.
Yes. We're hearing a lot more of that now these days.
I know.
Shut down.
It reminds me of Messiaen and all these composers that were so inspired by nature and birdsong.
Yeah. So on the flip side of that, what sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, traffic. Living in a big city, you become immune to it, but when it's gone, you realize how happy you are that it's not there anymore.
Yes.
I can't ask the next question because Carrie always asks this question.
Oh, okay.
Go on, Carrie.
If you want to, go ahead. Do you want to do it?
Oh. What is your favorite curse word in any language?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm English and we always say fuck for everything. So yeah, fuck. Okay. Fuck it, fuck you, fuck them, fuck everything.
Love it. Okay, all right. Okay, I like you. Okay.
Carrie's favorite word is a variation of that one.
Yes, it is. Okay.
What's your favorite one? Come on, Carrie.
Mine, motherfucker. I mean, there's
Motherfucker.
no other better way to say that sometimes. It's
That's the more American
yes.
partner of fuck, which is more English, British.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, I wanted to be an interpreter at one point because I love languages. And I wanted to travel and to be part of these big international conventions and to be that person that was interpreting, also if we say for books, translating, facilitating, understanding. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, I know you speak a lot of languages. You're very, very good at it. It's difficult. I don't think like that. And I think Carrie and I are very like-minded. So what profession would you not like to do?
Oh God. I think kind of office jobs I've kind of done with now. Being stuck in a kind of a 9 to 5, I'm away from that now. I'm doing other things and I'm like calm and I need to feel free. I need to be,
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. And our last question is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say as you enter the pearly gates?
Thank you for everything you did.
Nice.
Aww,
yeah.
Oh no, everybody, we've had some amazing responses to that, really.
It's been really fun.
Hilarious to very emotional and everything in between. So thank you.
What is your favorite one? What's the one that's stuck in your mind?
Of the answer to that? Susan Graham.
Oh, what did she say?
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
I'll say.
I know. Well, Carrie and I have both lost our fathers, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So I think Susan said, "Here's your dad. Here's your daddy."
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, exactly. And she lost her father, so we were. But we've had a lot of funny responses too, saying,
okay,
didn't mess that up so much, so or turn around and come back, or it was just a joke. So no, it's amazing the responses that people come up. But thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best of luck with Opera for Peace.
Thank you.
And anything we can do to help promote it and all of that, we're here.
Please let us know.
Thank you so much.
Sure, it's exciting stuff. So thank you for what you're doing.
Take care.
And you too. And I'm so happy I could start drinking earlier. So yes, I appreciate that.
Anytime. Day drinking, it is the thing.
Give us a ring.
Give us a ring. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye.